Hello everyone. We are going to make a blue dog picture today, inspired by the artwork of George Rodrigue, who was a famous painter, and he lived until 2013. He was from Louisiana, and Blue Dog was inspired by his own pet dog, Tiffany, and a Cajun legend about a werewolf named Loup-Garou. So you can see we've got big yellow eyes, kind of like a wolf eyes, but the white fur around the nose actually comes from his pet dog, Tiffany. Now, he painted Blue Dog paintings hundreds of times, so Blue Dog was always doing lots of fun things, maybe visiting new places, going to the beach, or dressing up in a different way, like being a clown or dressing like a king. So you have to use your imagination a bit to come up with your own ideas for what Blue Dog can do in your picture. But we are going to draw Blue Dog all the same way first, because no matter what, Blue Dog always has the same kind of ears and the same kind of eyes and the same kind of nose. So when we get started, we are going to start with either a pencil or a marker. I like to use the marker. I think it shows up a little bit better. And we're going to start with Blue Dog's head, which we want to be very large because we're not drawing his whole body. We're just drawing his head and then part of the body. So I always say hand-sized. We want our head to be hand-sized, and your hand is probably a little smaller than mine. So I'm going to start with a pretty big circle. And I want to make sure my hand fits in that circle. After that, I'm on to number 2, which is the ears. And Blue Dog's ears are very pointy, and they're also very furry. So you're gonna kind of wiggle a line up a little, make it wave a bit, and then bring it back down. So go up, and then down. And you can show the insides of the ears too if you want. In some of the paintings, you can see more of the inside of the ear. So you could add that in as well. Now for the third step, we're gonna make eyes, and Blue Dog has big werewolf looking eyes. So we're gonna use a pretty big circle, and then inside that circle, we're gonna draw a little circle. Not that. That's not the size of the pupil for Blue Dog. That's too small. Not a dot. We're actually gonna make a circle, and then we're gonna color it in. All right, now we're gonna do the nose, and the nose is an oval shape. And then we're gonna add a line that goes from the nose down to the bottom of the head. And you wanna also color in this oval shape, which might take a little bit longer depending on how big you make it. But that's why I also like to use a marker, because if I'm using pencil, I don't really wanna color the nose in with pencil. So if you're using a pencil, you might wanna switch and use a black marker to color the nose and the eyes in with. And just try your best to do your 3-star coloring. Make sure you're filling in the whole space, not leaving white spots. Make sure you're staying inside the lines. All right, for the next step, it's the fur around the nose. And that fur actually starts up between the eyes, and it goes around the nose. It actually goes under the head a little bit to make a chin, and then back around and up. So I kind of wiggle while I do this. Make it go a little bit below that line, and then back around the nose, and back on up. All right, now I'm gonna add the body, and I need 2 lines for that. And they're gonna go all the way from the head to the bottom of the paper. So we can't see the bottom of his body. It's kind of off the edge of the paper. And we don't wanna make them too close together because then he'd be too skinny. All right, so now I'm on to what is he and where is he in my picture? And I could look at some of the paintings that George Rodrigue made for inspiration, or I can come up with my own idea. Maybe it's a costume I have at home that I dress up in, or maybe it's one of my favorite things to do, or my favorite places to go. So it's up to you to come up with that idea. Once you have that idea, think about what Blue Dog might need to do whatever you have him doing in the picture. So if Blue Dog was going to be a fairy princess, then Blue Dog might need a crown. And maybe some wings. And maybe some, oh, I know, a wand, like a magic wand. I'm gonna make mine flower shaped. And maybe also in the background where Fairy Princess Blue Dog is a garden with lots of flowers. So I could add some flowers in the background too. So you have to decide what's going to work for your picture and add that. It's probably not always going to be a fairy princess. Plus, it's good to use your own ideas rather than just copy somebody else's. I'd like to see some of your own ideas too. All right, so once you've kind of figured out what Blue Dog is doing in your picture and where Blue Dog is, and you've added those details, at least 3 of them hopefully, then you need to think about color. So Blue Dog usually is blue, and that's because he can be everywhere like the sky. But Blue Dog doesn't always have to be blue. Blue Dog can change colors, which is why George Rodrigue wrote a story called Why is Blue Dog Blue? So if you want Blue Dog to be blue, that's great. If you want Blue Dog to be a different color, that's great too. If I have a blue dog and Blue Dog is a fairy princess, maybe I'm going to use a flower color. So maybe I choose this primrose color. That's actually perfect because that's a flower name. So when you're coloring Blue Dog fur, you want to do fur first. You don't want to do this fur around the nose. That's supposed to be white. That actually stays white even when Blue Dog changes color. So you actually want to go around that fur. And make sure you go around the eyes too. So we're gonna have to use our very best coloring to do this. Make sure we go nice around things, and then also 3-star coloring, trying to make sure that we're not doing scribbly. So it should look like this, not like this. Okay, that's scribbly. We wanna take our time, slow down a little, use the side of the marker, not the point. Remember, the point doesn't really have a lot of marker juice in it. So we definitely wanna use the side of the marker because we get more color that way. And the slower you go, the better the marker usually works. If I'm going too fast, then it tends to look a little bit drier and sort of run out of marker juice sooner. So try to color like this instead of like this. You can also color the ears and the body. Just try to avoid the white fur. And then the eyes are yellow. So when you're coloring Blue Dog's eyes, you're gonna use a yellow color. Now the rest of it is up to you to decide what colors you need. Maybe you decide you want to use yellow for a crown if you have a crown, or maybe the wings are blue. And then you can also color the background too. So if I'm in a flower garden, I might choose some flower colors for my flowers, and then maybe color the rest of it green, or color it blue like the sky. So those are decisions you'll need to make for your artwork. So I look forward to seeing your Blue Dogs. Have fun.